Money's moving to me. I'm a millionaire. Money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it.
Greetings, peace and prosperity to you all, you kings and queens. Great evening to you, y'all. It has been forever since I have been live on any platform. I did go live on my fan page just the other day, and that was the first time in I think 5 months. And this has been the longest time, as I was sharing with them, that I've ever been away from going live since the inception of being able to go live on social media. And I'm so super excited about it because there's so many things that have changed, evolutions that have been had, elevation, promotion, all that good stuff, healing and all of that jazz. And so, darling, today you see me as Empress Sharita Marie. So if you're watching me live, go ahead and let me know where you're watching from. Rep your city, rep your country. Let me know where in the virtual building you're watching from tonight. I do not plan to be before you long at all, but I do want to share some information with you that I know can be of great benefit to those of you who are in alignment and who are vibing high. So let me get started with my intro as I always do. I am Empress Sharita Marie. I have been doing this for so many years. I went from being a homeless, disabled, single mom to a 2-time #1 best-selling author with books that won the best sellers list for over 2 years straight. I'm also a life relationship and business coach, an internet marketing strategist, entrepreneur, international speaker, and the protege of the legendary Les Brown, a Forex trader and investor. And I empower my tribe to live their God-given purpose while creating wealth and have healthy relationships. I'm also a believer, and my faith is exuding all that I do. Welcome, y'all. It's been 6 months since I said that. Hey, Pastor Sean. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Crystal Marie. I see we have the same middle name. El Paso, Texas is in the house. So listen, everyone, I want to share with you tonight a 3-part series, if you will. So tonight is part 1 of 3 ways to make money while doing nothing as a divine feminine queen. Now, I know a lot of people probably are going to watch this and be like, ooh, I don't got to do nothing to make some money. What I got to do? We're going to elevate that thinking, first of all. But I want to share with you part 1 of how you're able to do that. But let me first go into what I mean by being able to do nothing and still be able to make money. What am I referring to? Well, the first thing is this. When you talk about the divine, I'll break that down. When you talk about the divine, you talk about what is supernatural, what is godly. And when you think about God and when you think about the supernatural, it is done by its essence in and of itself. It's not God has to do something for you, for God to have anything he wants, right? When God created the earth, God spoke and then it was. And so it is with you as the divine, as an extension of God on the earth. Are ye not gods, right? If you read your book, as that extension, your being is what creates. So that's part 1. Now, when we talk about the feminine woman, when you talk about the divine feminine, that is the woman who is in alignment with her divine self, who understands that her being also is what attracts what she wants, what she needs, and in that, everything literally comes into alignment. That's where that starts from. When you understand your divinity first, and then you understand your feminine essence, especially as a woman, we naturally are in a place to receive. Does that make sense? If it does, put a number 1 in the chat. So in the same fashion that as a woman, I don't have to do anything other than be myself to receive and to create, it is the same way when I want something done. It is the same way when I want to make money. It is the same way when I want to create something, that I operate from this place of being that allows for me to actually have the things that I want. And it seems as if it happens out of nowhere. So when you understand first the who, right? When you understand who you actually are and you can tap into the flow of who you are and your divine nature, you are able to attract money doing just about anything. And not only that, you are not limited to any sort of form of payment. You're not limited to any source, rather. You're not limited to a job. You're not limited to a business. Money literally can come from anywhere. And the moment you understand that is the moment you're able to align yourself with being able to receive and attract it. Great evening, Queen. How are you? And so, in my nature of being, in my nature, and y'all go ahead and share this because it's going to bless a whole lot of people, okay? In my nature of being the divine feminine that God has created me to be, I now attract. I attract opportunities. I attract people wanting me to, do things for them, whether it's my services that I have. I attract people that say, hey, there's just something about you. Can you come on my platform and talk about this and I'll pay you X, Y, and Z? I surely will. I understand that in my being, there are no limitations. And I dig deep into this, and I'm going to share with you all like step by step of what this actually looks like in my webinar that I have coming up this Thursday. So now, after you get the understanding of your being, who you are, how you align with who you are, how you walk, how you move, how you feel, becoming the energetic match, all that good stuff. Once you get to that place, now you get divine downloads. Somebody type divine downloads as I sip my Capri CBD coffee. Once you get a divine download, you now have divine inspired action. From those divine downloads, God's going to show you what you should be doing. Now, you may not have any of the resources for it. You may not have ever done this in your life. You might not know how it's going to work. But something says, boom, go do this right now. Go call that person. Tell them you need this. Go to the store on Thursday at 8 o'clock and ask for Mike. You're like, who in the world is Mike? What store is this guy? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But in your being, in your time of prayer, in your time of meditation, in your time of stillness, in your time of flow and creativity, you heard that. So you go and boom, it works out. Now, while you're in that place, it's very crucial that you don't allow for your logical mind to come and stop you from doing what God's already shown you. Because when you start doing that, you have all the blueprints. Everything is like, okay, go do this. And you're like, well, I don't know. What are people going to say? I tried last time. And you don't do that. Don't do that. The divine feminine knows how to flow. That's the beautiful thing about being in your femininity. When you are in your femininity, your body just flows. Just like your body flows, ideas flows. Just like you're able to literally be in a place where things come, it's like a domino effect because you're in your flow, right? You're not hustling. You're not trying to grind it out. That hustle culture is completely done. I mean, at least it is for me and every other divine feminine who's out there who understands the soft life. So with that, you can do something from that divine inspired action and then it succeeds. So let me give you an example. One of the ways for me that I'm able to make money, because y'all all know I believe in having multiple streams of income, right? So one of the ways for me that I'm able to do that is through drop shipping. Drop shipping, have an e-commerce store. So why is this important for me? I like to do things on my own terms, right? I like to do things on my own terms, and I like my time. I don't like for anyone to tell me when I can do something, when I can't do something. I don't like to feel like I am tied down to anything, right? So because I don't like to be tied down to anything, I need ways of income that allow me to flow, that allow me to travel whenever I want to travel, that allow for me to be with my daughter and do whatever I want to do with her. That's what I need, right? So how do you do that? Well, one of the ways in the physical sort of sense, right, is through drop shipping. What I love about drop shipping is that you don't have to have any inventory, at least not with what I'm doing, right? My drop shipping e-commerce store, I have 0 products that I have to have on hand. I have no need to have my own customer service because that actually already comes with my website, my store, my company. All of that is done for me. So, and that being done for me, literally, all I have to do is be myself, like literally. Like, let me give you an example. So, Right now, you see me drinking my coffee, right? I right now could drink some coffee. I can literally have people see me drinking coffee. People literally asking me about coffee. I give them a link. They go buy it. I'm not shipping them the coffee. They're not calling me if they can't find their tracking number. No, why? Because I have customer service with my dropshipping company. So I'm not doing any of that. I literally show up, and one of the ways is just being myself on social media, sharing people what I do. They want it and they get it. Now, I also have ways where I go to have actual traffic to people that are looking for what I want, but that's that. I'm not toiling. I've seen all these TikTok videos and reels of people having thousands of packages that they're printing out and shipping. And that's great because their business is prospering, right? So shout out to them for that. But honey, I'm not trying to go to this post office every day. I'm not trying to be sitting here packaging. No, I'm not. That's not what my divine flow looks like. That's not what a life of opulence and freedom looks like to me, but that's just me. So it only makes sense for me to be able to create opportunities for me to do things I love without having to hustle, trying to put together a website, not trying to deal with the hustle of people trying to call me when things aren't working right. I don't want to do any of that. Let me just get my coins and live my divine life and help other people along the way. That's it. And that's literally one of the ways that I am able to make money in my being. Because let me tell you something. While I'm sitting down and I'm meditating, literally, money is being made for me. Literally, somebody's going to my website. Literally, somebody that inboxed me and asked me to get something, and I'm sending them a link. That's freedom for me. Okay. And so with that, it allows for me to be true to myself, be true to my desires, be true to the life that I want to live, and create the freedom. But see, none of that can happen if I still had the wrong relationships with money, if I still had the wrong relationships of what I felt was necessary for me to make it. And this is where the healing comes into place. Because a lot of us, if not all of us, have to heal from the relationship we have with money. We have to heal from what we feel like we have to do to get it. We have to heal from the limitations that we've been put on ourselves, whether through our families, our friends, our society, whatever the case may be. We have to heal from those things and heal from the past traumatic experiences that you may have had with money that caused you to become a bit bitter. Amen, somebody. Because see, some of you have had issues with money, so we might have lost it, whether you were gambling it, whether you had a bad business deal, whether you got fired from your job, whether you were someone who had to be affected negatively by the last recession, whatever the case may be, you've now been bitter towards that, so you're afraid to make a move. Or you start something and that fear cripples you from actually fully expanding, fully being able to show up and be present because you're still stuck on the bad relationship you had with that money and that trauma. And so now you may be one of those people that don't even like talking about money because you're like, oh no, because you keep thinking about how it leaves. If you're healed from those limitations, and you know that money never actually leaves, money does not disappear. Money circulates. I need you to understand that. Money circulates. Not only does money circulate, money is never ending. I need y'all to get this. Money is never ending. Now you're like, Sharita, we're in a recession. Where have you been? I know you've been gone for like 6 months, but have you not been watching the news? And see, some of y'all, that's what you need to stop doing. Some of you need to stop watching the news because some of you allow yourself to be so indoctrinated with whatever media is telling you that you create your beliefs and your moves based on what they're telling you. See, when you operate from a divine place, you're not waiting for somebody to give you the okay. You understand, just like when Jesus told Peter to go to the water and get the fish to get what belonged to Pharaoh, you understand that you have that type of power. So whether you're in a recession or not, you know that you can always operate from a place of flow and abundance, because what's happening for everyone does not have to happen to you. But it takes to understand, learn, heal, and know what is actually available to you from a spiritual perspective, find out what your psychological limitations are, so that way you can show up and be fully present in this present day to have what actually belongs to you. Because the truth is, in the midst of recessions, many millionaires are made. I need y'all to get that. In the midst of recessions, many millionaires are made. It doesn't take a long time. You have to now ask yourself, am I going to be one of them? Am I going to be one of them? I mean, it can be you, right? It can be, but will it be? Is solely up to you. So this is what I like to invite you to do. I have an amazing webinar coming up this Thursday. Now, let me tell you why I'm excited, first of all. This is my first coaching webinar that I've done in, wow, been like over 3 years. So you already know it's going to be fire. It's going to be out of this world, literally. Like supernatural things are going to take place on this webinar. And for those that will carry on through the process of the Soft Life Society, healing to divine feminine wealth, baby, we are doing it all. We are being it all. And in our being, we are creating the life of our dreams, which is in direct alignment with our purpose. We are literally healing the wounds that many of us don't even know exist, right? We're healing from limitations. We're healing from past relationships that cause damage. We're healing from low self-esteem. We're healing from all low vibrational thoughts and things and people. And we are rising to the queens that we are, fixing our crowns and being able to be and show up as our highest self, living the life that we know we've been called to live without any apology, no limitations, and becoming all that we know we were called to be and live in this here life. You hear me? And so this Thursday at 8:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you have an opportunity to join me and some other divine queens as we heal to divine feminine wealth. The beautiful thing about this Soft Life Society and healing to divine wealth is that we're healing from a holistic level. We're healing spiritually, healing financially, healing physically, healing emotionally, and psychologically. And that's the thing. When you are partnered with me, you get all these extra benefits. You have someone who can get to you from a psychological level as a psych major. You have someone who understands the spiritual world as a prophetess. You have someone who understands financial literacy as a master trader, and someone who's a wealth advocate. And physically, because y'all know that I lost almost 100 pounds and still going. So you have access to a wealth of knowledge, but the wealth of knowledge is not even in comparison to the spiritual encounter and the elevation that you're going to have just by being a part of this. And now, when I say spiritual encounter, I don't want you to think church, because I'm not that. I am not churchy. This will not be anything typical of that, but it will be supernatural. You will feel God. You will see God. And it truly will be life-changing to those who are vibrating at the frequency in which they can receive and are ready. I am not here for everyone, as you guys often know I say. But for the queens who are ready to rise up, for the queens who are ready to rise up and live in a divine feminine wealth, this is for you. So what you want to do right now, right, is register for my amazing webinar by going to, I'm going to put it up here so you all can see and have it on the screen. I should have done that before. I didn't think about that. You want to go to the Soft Life Society, Soft Life webinar.info and be able to register. Follow the prompts. You must go ahead and get the Telegram group in there, get all the details, because this Thursday is going to be phenomenal. Go and register for the webinar, and it's free. Now, let me tell you something about me, which you probably already know by now. Just because this is free this time, it won't be next time. This is worth over $497. I'm letting you know right now, this webinar. And you're going to have it for free this Thursday. Don't wait for another one, because y'all know when I'm moved by what I'm inspired to do. That's the beautiful thing about being the divine feminine woman. You move when you want to move. You move when you're led by the spirit to move. Other than that, I'm ghost. Like y'all saw, I did not do a live for like 6 months. And I could very well do something else again. So you better catch me while you can, all right? So make sure that you are part of this, because anyone who's ever been in any of my coaching, whether they were my one-on-one coach clients, whether they were part of my coaching group, their lives have changed. Like I did a coaching challenge years ago, and we did it for 30 days. I'll probably never do that again. But it was for 30 days. And the women who actually stuck through to the end, their lives changed. And Whitney always comes to mind first. Whitney became a very successful coach. She became branding. Like I look at Whitney now and I'm like, who is that, right? But she is now who I saw when I first met her. And her life is totally different now. And she was the only one. I mean, I have a couple that have come back, but Whitney was the only one that really came back and said thank you. You know how Jesus was like, you know, to the one leper that came back and said thank you? He was like, where's about like 9 of y'all? Like, where the other ones at? Whitney was the one that always came back and said thank you. So with that being said, I'm in a whole new dimension, y'all. Literally, like I'm entered like Mr. Browning goes about intergalactic. Like I'm literally in different realms at the same time. So now I say that to say now is far greater than where I was years ago when I did another challenge. So make sure you register for the webinar. It's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. And I look forward to seeing you on Thursday. And like I said, this is part 1. So I will be back again before the webinar to go through part 2. So if you have any questions, let me know. You can inbox me. Make sure you register, because like I said, you only get the information from being registered. Because if you don't get it there, if you don't register, you won't get the details. So make sure you know that. My pleasure, Queen. All right, y'all. Thank you for watching. Until next time, only believe until the end and go get your life peace and prosperity.
I'm a millionaire, money better cases. I ain't gotta chase it. I'm a millionaire.